Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Max Mind. I hope you guys have been enjoying our little informal fireside chats here. I've switched format slightly here. Not that you'll see any difference on the screen, but I've decided to start using my old iPhone 7 to record the show because I've got a tripod for it and I can set it up in my little command center here. So I'm pleased with that. Obviously as a personal phone, I actually have a 8 Plus, and I'll be expecting my endorsement check from Apple anytime now. Of course, here I am, your all-American host and content creator, and I'm trying to bring you just, my little thoughts and interesting tidbits about Starship Moonhawk and related programs in the universe and so on and so forth. So hopefully you're enjoying all this, and we'll continue doing this for a while. The big thing this week is that the first episode of our new video comic series, The Lavenders, has come out, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and it seems the actors involved were quite pleased. Got very positive reactions from everybody involved, and considering how fast we whipped that together, any positive review on it is a validation as far as I'm concerned. It's a series I created a while back. Obviously, it's much newer than Starship Moonhawk, but I created it a while back, and our objective was to, I don't know, at that time in 2001, Twilight was coming out, and everybody was all ado about nothing with that, and I wasn't super excited about that, and I have nothing nice to say about it. Some people like it, that's fine. I don't have anything really negative to say about Stephanie Meyer or anything like that. That's not my objective, to throw another artist or creator under the bus. I just didn't think it was that deep, and I thought there were some elements that were mildly problematic. Basically, back in 2001, I was trying to create a Blade Runner-esque series so I could work with a specific artist that I liked, who was kind of into that genre, and trying to make those, dark cyberpunk type Blade Runner-esque futures. And it was set on Mars, and it had psychic cops who were chasing psychic perpetrators, and that concept isn't lost, actually. Hopefully, if we get to season 2, you'll see some of what was going to go into that series. But instead, in 2004, I came out with The Lavenders, and it started out as a contemporary piece set in 2007, modern-day San Diego, 2004, modern-day San Diego, and then later we changed it to 2007 when we started writing the script for the new series. I started working with Kimberly Godwin, our longtime co-executive producer and co-scribe. Also, I was working with an artist that I'm friends with named Marie Terry. She had a vampire werewolf series called Shifters. Or was it the Shifters? I'll have to look that up. But anyway, we just called it Shifters back then. And we all met at San Diego Comic-Con in 2003. And we were all on, Keen Space / Comic Genesis at the time. And so we were kind of pooling resources with like-minded individuals. And unfortunately, Marie wasn't able to commit to the series, so we had to change artists. And I think that was largely due to health reasons. I won't get into the specifics of it because it's not relevant. 2 years later, I met Keith Wood through Jay Horsley III and his podcast radio show, and we hit it off. And in 2010, we actually launched the Lavenders for real, but we set it in the year 2107, so that way we can go further into the future. And it was easier because I was dealing with an artist who was not familiar with San Diego. So rather than have him try to do Google Maps and Google Earth to try to figure out what things might look like, even though we were dealing with a fictionalized future world, uh, we, uh, we opted to go a little bit further into the future so we could make some changes and create a backstory and so on and so forth that was unique to our version. And we went on for about a year or so, and then things slowed down, finances got tight, the usual nonsense. And we had to stop for a little while. And while I was in Alabama, I got a call from a regional city magazine in San Diego called San Diego City Beat Magazine, and they had discovered the comic online and interviewed us. Now, the original article, of course, with pictures and everything is gone, but thanks to the glory of the Wayback Machine, you could still read it. And it was a generally favorable review, but it did have some ridiculous references in it. But what I realized back then, and it took us until now to actually make some headway on it, was that the series is not only very viable, but that it also has critical acclaim. Like, we can actually use it as a selling point. It's not just, me saying it has critical acclaim. Well, many people, via private messages and DMs have told me that the series is great. And I have one review from 2005 on Amazon that's, from a guy in Belgium that swears Starship Moonhawk is the greatest thing that was ever written. This was the real deal. People noticed what we were doing, and I wasn't able to capitalize on it at the time. As you all know, I hired a new artist for Starship Moonhawk, the webcomic, and one of the things she suggested to me was, why not make it a video comic? If we're constantly being stalled out on the actual animation because of the complexity and cost involved, why not just do a video comic? And I said, well, we still have the cost of the actors and things like that, but if I can get some people to work with me and help us make the first season, and we can put it out there and generate buzz on the YouTube channel, then maybe it's possible that we can actually start earning revenue, achieve partner status with YouTube, and plus it'll create new content for the channel besides me just yammering for 10 minutes into my iPhone. So we did it, and we were able to put the whole thing together in roughly 3 weeks, and it came out great. And I'm super pleased about this because I didn't think we could make a quality product that fast. And I think some of the actors involved were a little skeptical at first, but they're like, we like your passion. So there it is. That's how the Lavenders came to be a video comic series on YouTube. It does still exist on Smack Jeeves. They reformatted their whole system, and so now it's virtually impossible for us to monetize it unless I put links in the comment section and people copy and paste them. It's like, it seems like all these free comic services, Comic Genesis is gone. Drunk Duck became The Duck, and after they became The Duck, they reformatted their whole system, and it is no longer possible to put links and ads in there. Smack Jeeves had a fully customizable HTML. They had a CSS format that allowed you to directly manipulate it, and for security and functionality reasons, they removed that. So now the only thing that appears on the page is their advertising. And I don't know, I guess they have a revenue sharing program. It's kind of dubious to me. I never, Comic Genesis was supposed to have a revenue share program too, and I think I built up 47 cents in the, 19 years that my comics have been on their service? And then they just shut down, like 4 years ago. It's just gone. So, Tapastic, again, formatting issues, difficulty advertising and so on and so forth. Can't have link affiliates and so on. So we're going to build a new website and just put it up there so we can have links to Drive Through Comics and have all of our stuff there and make it accessible, and do link exchanges with our friends and partners, and I think it'll be good. And so that's it for this week. Obviously, got my taxes done, so one less burden off my mind, and I'm back to work. So once again, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in to Max Mind, and I think I'm going to start using my traditional sign-off for Moonhawk Studios Presents. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there, kids. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.